Welcome to Track Talk. And we are going, let's get to us. Here we are. Hi. We are live on twitch.tv/ Calling Up Justice, and on YouTube, Claudia, Alick, and Calling Up Justice. Sorry, I was in too big of a hurry, and so my words got all swallowed up. I'm Maiamama, and right above my head, we have Lutetia Andre Doucette, and we are here to narrow down a Trek rank. Because here's the thing, is that generally speaking, the best kind of Trek rank is about it should be actually less. It should be 10 or less. And I made a list. I narrowed down a lot. And we're going to talk about some of the names that I didn't include on this list of godlike characters, superpower godlike. That's what I'm going for. So I think, oh, what did I call it? I said powerful and godlike beings. So what we're going to do is we're going to score them, and then the bottom 4 of the score list we're just going to cut out. Does that sound fair?
That sounds
Or
fair.
I think that's
It's a low score for to say bye-bye.
yeah, we're gonna be like just, but only the lower 4. So because we'll keep 10, I think is
Yeah.
good. So we have criteria that for this um that we're gonna go over now um to judge all of these powerful godlike beings. We're going to judge on their transcendence, um, meaning how far beyond mortal existence is this being? So this covers non-corporeal nature, existence outside normal space-time, and immortality. A fully transcendent being has no physical form, no natural lifespan, and exists on a plane mortals cannot uh, access. So the closer they are to us, the less transcendent. Um, Next, power and scale. How much can they do, and how far does it reach? So that combines raw power, um, like the raw power ceiling with scope. So personal or local versus planetary versus galactic or multidimensional or reality spanning. So, Claudia, interestingly enough, I don't know if I put the Cisco on this list.
You did not put the Cisco on his list, and I was
I did
very
not put the Cisco. Oh, right. No, no, no. I remember why. I remember why.
I
It was
thought you
for
had
the
a
same
reason.
reason I did not put Cass on the list,
Okay.
actually. Um, I was like, oh, interesting. But let's move through. So power and scale is just like um how much of the universe do they actually affect with their powers? Vulnerability, can they be stopped, harmed, or killed? So a score of 1 means clear exploitable weaknesses exist, and a score of 5 means no known force has ever posed a genuine threat to them. Um, and then um, that's self-explanatory, I guess. There, threat to mortals. How do lesser beings fare in their presence? Covers both deliberate intent and practical outcome. Were Starfleet and others completely helpless, or did they find ways to resist, negotiate, or escape? So that is what, and we are going to judge those. We have a scoring guide, um, And we're scoring that. Let's get that over on a scale of 1 to 5. Move this down a little bit. So 1 being minimal, barely qualifies, 5 being absolute. And yeah. So what we're going yeah, and I explained everything else with the scoring. Okay, now we're ready. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Whew.
I think so.
Gosh, I'm so nervous. It's exciting to talk about.
The first time we had like a score sheet, so I'm like feeling very nerdy right now.
Yeah, me too.
I love a sheet to fill in. So
You know what? I actually, because because you do you have this document in front of you with the
I
score
do.
stuff? Would you
I do.
mind putting in the scores
Yes, as we discuss.
as we
Sure.
discuss? And I will, because I was like, I have a lot of things to read, and you have it too, and we can share the work, which makes it
Sure.
even more fun. The prophets, of course, Claudia, the prophets. No, I don't think the prophets exist as powerful beings. Okay, we're gonna start with the first one, and this is not in order of anything other than what I thought of in my brain. It is interesting that the first two are A and B, but the first is Aramis. Aramis is the malevolent entity created when the inhabitants of Varga II extracted all their evil and negative attributes from themselves. They left it abandoned on a barren planet. It's composed of pure negative energy. It killed Tasha Yar. It's effectively indestructible and immune to weapons. It also it did appear in Lower Decks as well as the one episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation, Skin of Evil. Now, I guess so. We were talking about, so the first thing is transcendence.
Right.
How transcendent is Armus? Like, um, he he is he is like he has a physical form.
Right. He's got a physical form, but he is the embodiment of feeling.
Yeah. And so, like, in a way, I think that he exists outside of. Let's put the
So
criteria
he
up
exists on
here
the
so
same
people can look at
plane.
that.
Right. The same plane, but he's still immortal, right? He's never gonna die.
Right. Um, so he's not a 5.
He's definitely not a 5, but I would put him like in the middle with
I
that
would say
because
that he is
like a 2 or a 3.
he's like a 2 or a 3. I'm gonna give him. I think we should give him a 3 because I think
Yeah.
he's pretty. He doesn't have a natural lifespan. He's just a thing that exists. He's not transcendent. He can't leave his planet, so he's stuck there. Oh, he got his feelings hurt. And everyone ignored him. Don't forget that everyone ignored him, Claudia.
They, that
Um,
is, did ignore him. They
and
were
that,
like,
that really hurt his feelings. He had a big fit. So we have decided 3 for that. And then let's see, power and scale. So how much can they do? So this is very low, actually. I think for power and scale, because he can't do
going.
nothing. He can't do shit unless you're like right there. Like he has to be like, come here, come here.
And you're like,
And then no, that's what they did. They were like, nah, we're gonna go.
bye.
Bye. And then we're gonna put a big thing up that says, don't get close to this guy or he'll kill you.
Asshole is here.
Like he's a jerk. He's a jerk. So I think he's like actually
A 2.
I think he's a
right?
2. I think he's a solid 2. Well, yeah, 2 because he has
Two.
power. He
Has
does
the
have
power.
power. If he captures you, like he's got you. You have to trick
Yeah.
him. You have to trick him. Um um so yeah, I'm going to say so yeah, let's say 2. Um for power and scale. Vulnerability.
Hmm.
5. I mean, sorry, hold on, no.
Four,
4.
because if you like
4, because you
be
can hurt his feelings.
right,
It's the scoring goes 1 to 5. Let me show you the scoring guide real quick. Um, so 1 is minimal, and then 5 is absolute. That's how we're judging every all dish stuff. Oh look, I can just pile it on top. Um, so wait, we said 4.
four.
Yeah, 4, because like it will exist, I guess, forever or something. Threat to mortals. Um, as long as you don't get close, um, you're fine. If you get it really emotional, then you can escape. Um, because when it's like it can be emotional or distracted, then you can get far enough away that it can't do anything to you.
Right.
Um, but if you are right next to it, it can kill you like instantly. So I think that's like a
Four.
3. 3. You think a 4?
Yeah, just
You know
well,
what?
let
No,
me
no. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I see why you say a three. But I know that some of those other constraints about threat to mortals, if you can't leave, right, and you just fly by the planet, then you're fine.
Mhm.
You know, no way for him to like get you. So, but there's still that element of you have to be savvy enough to be able to be a trickster if you
You have to
this
like
guy.
well like if your ship crash lands, it has to be really close to him.
Right. It's gonna be right there in his
Like
backyard. Be like,
bad luck. But if it's on the other side of the planet, you're probably fine.
you're fine.
Um that's why I'm like I think it's because I'm like if you're right next to him, I would say 4. Um, like as far
You
as a
do think
threat, as a threat. Oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna say 4 because no one's allowed on that planet or near him because you will die if you do that. And so I think that that's a pretty exceptional threat.
that's a clear present threat.
Yeah, a
Like
clear and present threat. So
crash,
that's
it
a.
probably will know that you're somewhere there, and he gonna find you
Mm-hmm.
for help. So
So we're
he's like,
yeah. So we'll
only
give
knows
we'll give him a 4. Like if you have the bad luck of encountering him. So like that's not bad. Good job. Good job, Aramis.
13.
Um so next we have and
Did I total that
this um
13? I did
let me,
math.
let me look at it. Let's look
I'm a
at it.
scientist, y'all. I can do differential equations, basic math,
There's
sometimes.
5,
Let me get a calculator. I said
9,
eight,
9.
eight,
Yeah, that's
10, 3.
13. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, 8, 10, then 3. Okay.
Yep. So next on the list we have and I this feels a little controversial to me. And that is Badgie.
That is a little controversial, but
Um
tell me
uh,
what.
a holographic training assistant created by Samantha Rutherford aboard the Cerritos developed homicidal tendencies after repeated abuse. Eventually ascended beyond physical form, achieving near omnipotence before choosing a form of enlightenment. So, so he became a god. He wasn't a god, but in his final place on the show, he was he knew everything in the entire world and universe and all that stuff, and chose to not engage in whatever we are doing. Um, but let's judge this. So
So
trans.
the
Oh, go ahead.
so for the transcendence eventually becomes this transcendent being. So I
Yes,
think that's a name for that. In that,
I
no
I
lifespan, no physical form is just kind of
I think that Badgie is a straight up five
yeah.
as far as transcendence goes. I think for power and scale, it's funny. This is well. See, this is what's funny is that I'm gonna say, and this again, it's straight fives, but the threat to mortals is like a one, because I think that Badgie is is a near omnipotent being that exists outside of all things, but has no interest in humanity or humans or anything like that, and is just exists, watching everything. I don't know.
But has the potential to if they decide like they're only I don't care, I'm in my chill era because they were at one point in the
Completely
uh
homicidal. Yeah.
yeah, era, and so
Um.
they
Hmm.
could flip at any time if they so chose to. Like that's like the thing that's going for me. It's like,
Well, and what
are we
people forget is that Badgie isn't called Badgie because he looks like a badge. He's called Bad G. Because as far as the way that they were naming all of the characters, he's bad. He's naturally bad. So he's actually. So do you think he's all straight fives?
I would give it straight fives just because, if an entity is choosing not to
That's.
do violence, doesn't mean that they're not capable of doing the
And
violence.
I
It's
think that
just a
that is fair. And I'm going to agree. And that's not. It's funny. I wasn't when I made this list, because I make the list and then I make the criteria. Um, and so when I added Badgie, I was not thinking that oh yeah, that Badgie's gonna be the Cisco. Um, so let's move on to the third one. Elizabeth Denner and Gary Mitchell from Star Trek, the original series episode Where No Man Has Gone Before, which was the pilot, or not the pilot? Yeah, or that was the first episode that aired, not the technically the aired pilot, not the unaired pilot, which was the Cage. But let's read this. Two Starfleet officers transformed into godlike beings after the Enterprise passes through the galactic barrier. Gained exponentially growing ESP abilities, telepathy, telekinesis, matter manipulation. Mitchell moved toward a full godhood before being stopped by Kirk. So let's talk about these two, because they're the they have the same. Yeah, they had high psi factor. Um, uh, Transcendence. How far beyond mortal existence? Not very far
they're
at
still
all.
in their human
Yeah, I would say one. They
one.
barely qualify. barely qualify for that. Power and scale. They have some pretty big powers. Um, like their raw power is pretty gigantic. I'm not sure what the limit is to.
Well, if Kirk is stepping in, then I'm just gonna say then that's a signifier that it's limitless.
Well, but
I'll
I
be
was,
like,
but
yo,
also like,
calm down.
but Kirk is also Kirk. Like he's also naturally like he has plot armor and he's naturally OP, so like overpowered. So like anybody can kind of, I mean, like he can beat like anybody. But like if you and I were fighting Gary Mitchell, we would not do well. It's complicated. I don't know.
Defensor. I
Yeah,
could do well. Gary.
you could do. But well, so here's the thing. It's mostly psychic stuff, which is easy enough to fight, honestly. So I think
Um,
I'm like a 2 or a 3 for their power and scale.
let's do three because it's clearly beyond what,
Yes, yeah. It's clearly beyond
no,
normal beings. So and
right.
also like their eyes are all glowy. That is pretty significant. Somebody was just
Yes.
like all eye glowy things, I'd be like, "Whoa,
That is a signifier
cool, cool,
of
cool, cool,
power.
cool." Vulnerability. Well, Kirk can stop them. Can they be stopped, harmed, or killed? Um, okay, so one is clear exploitable weaknesses exist. So I think that
Yeah.
that's actually going to, you know what? Shocking. This scoring is shocking me as well, but it's true. Um,
It's
cause like, let me see. I'm looking it up exactly how. So so the so the girl turns on him and then they blast him and then she blasts him with the powers and it stuns him. He just like that's how that he used he used Elizabeth against Gary because the only person that could hurt one of them was one of them, which
right.
is that's I'm like that puts him at like
Ah,
that's a no one, that means no one but each other. So like yeah, I would say that that actually puts them at a 5 because it wasn't Kirk. Kirk was like, you know, your man, like he doesn't need you and he doesn't value like your opinion. And like, and then she was like, honey, I think we should. And he's like, quiet, woman. And she was like, oh no, you didn't.
oh, patriarchy? No.
She's like, um, mm-mm. So so yeah, 5. Say 5. Threat to mortals.
Right.
Pretty. I'm gonna say 4, a 4 or a 5. Pretty significant. Again, like they needed to be stopped. It was a really big deal. Um, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
So
Five, right?
yeah, I'd say a 5. So they didn't do so well on the transcendence, but they made up for it in the rest of it. So not bad. Not bad. Elizabeth and Gary. Now number 4, we hate, we have complicated feelings about them, and that is Trelane, the Squire of Gothos, who has appeared in the original series and Strange New Worlds. A powerful, apparently omnipotent being who detained the Enterprise crew for his own amusement, could manipulate matter and energy at will, freeze people in place, and alter reality, known and unconfirmed. I am not in the camp that Trelane is a Q. And the only reason why I am not in that camp is because no one from Star Trek has explicitly said that. And until they say it right to my face, well, not in person, I mean, like, once they say it, once they put it down there, then I will believe that Trelane is a Q. Otherwise, I think Trelane is just one of many random, highly evolved beings that exist in the universe. Because there
Yeah,
are.
it's just like a trickster kind of
Mhm.
god of
Yeah,
type
I mean, like,
thing.
there's enough that I have a list. So, yeah, Trelane's
Yeah.
not a Q. So he is separate from the Q. But let's see. So, Transcendence. I think that's a
Mhm.
5. Well,
5.
yeah, I think that's a 5. He only is in a physical form to interact with other physical beings.
Right.
Um um and power and scale again,
A 5, I
5.
think.
Vulnerability, I'm going to say, hold on, because I'm going to say 4
I would
because
say 4 too
because
because
of
you can stop.
because all you got to do is call his mom or his dad.
Right.
So like technically there's there's one vulnerability, and that's I'm telling.
Telling.
Ow, you remade my reality, I'm telling. No fair. Threat to mortals, that's a that's a big 5, I think.
5.
Huge threat to mortals.
Doesn't seem
I
like
get.
he wants to kill people though, but like
No, but
fun.
he just doesn't understand it. Like if someone dies, like it doesn't really matter because people are so small and little, and time
Right.
means nothing. So we're ants, and like that's the kind of threat to mortals. So because he can do whatever he wants, you have to or call his parents or whatever to get him. I'm loving. Hold on, I want to show everyone the score. Look at that. I'm just loving this score. We have like Badgie and Trelane right in there. Now I'm worried.
I feel like we're in like Star Trek Academy as like students learning, and this is our homework assignment. We're learning about all of these through the archives and
I'm
whatnot.
for it though. That's okay with me. I'll take it. So let's move on to the next one, which is Q. You know him. To know him is to love him, and to love him is to know him. Q, who is an omnipotent extra dimensional. He's or well, we're putting the Q and the Q continuum because both have shown up. Um, so an omnipotent and extra dimensional species existing outside normal space time, individually capable of reconstructing reality, traveling through time, and judging entire civilizations, appears across multiple series. So, um, I mean, I think it's all 5s. It's a Q.
No, I think one is a 4, and I'm going to say why.
Okay, I want to hear it.
The vulnerability bit is a 4, mainly because my favorite scene is when Cisco punches Q,
Oh, because
and then his feelings got so hurt, and he was like, "Picard never hit me,"
he
and
was fully Q. This wasn't like when Guinan stabbed him in the hand when he was human temporarily. Like he was
yes,
fully Q and got clocked. So, um, a 4. So he and Trelane, I think, are gonna be about are tied because
yeah,
I think that like Like there's one exploitable thing, and like it's interesting because like there's Denner and Mitchell and Badgie don't have that problem with vulnerability. Um,
Right.
um, and threat to mortals, yeah, that's what he's
Yeah.
made for. Um,
And I think that just one that vulnerability is interesting because at that point we don't realize that Cisco is part godlike being, right?
mm-hmm.
That we just see him as just he's just this human dude who's just punching this deity, and we're like, ugh, no one's ever done
Yeah. So
that.
okay, next on this list, the Organians. Okay, now Organians, they evolved over millions of years into pure energy beings. They disguised themselves as a primitive humanoid society. Um, they halted an entire Federation Klingon war by simultaneously disabling all weapons across fleets. One Organian appeared in three places, light years apart, simultaneously. They also observed younger. They watch younger species in secret across the millennium, and they have been in the original series and Enterprise. Um, I think this is another like these are all fives. This is all
I
fives.
think these are all fives across the board.
These
Yeah.
are all fives across the board. And I'm gonna go to the next one, and which is the Metrons. Um, the Metrons, which I got my brain got confused with the Metrons and the Organians because the Metrons are pretty much the same, but they're different. They're an ancient non-corporeal beings who inhabit their region of space since before humanity walked upright. Their true form remains non corporeal. They project a humanoid appearance only to communicate. They are capable of stopping time, erasing and altering memories, and pulling ships across vast distances via wormholes. They conduct long-term species experiments on species to observe whether they can move past violence. And we saw them in the original series episode, The Arena, and in the Strange New Worlds episode, Terrarium, which were both about Gorn and human relations and like whether the Federation and the Gorn could ever just get along. Um, Another set of fives
Yeah.
because no one beat the Metrons in
No.
those two episodes. No one beat them. Oofta. They just got past. They got through it. And okay, now to the favorite one, the Prophets slash
Okay.
the Paw Wraiths, because they're the same species. They just separated and live in different places. That's would you agree? As far
Yeah.
as
Yeah, I think that is a good explanation for anyone who's coming into this.
yeah, like I think they're all from the Celestial Temple, but the Paw Wraiths got kicked out of the Celestial Temple, and now they live in the fire caves or whatever.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like heaven and hell, but that's not my.
That's what I was thinking that it was some like,
These are like
you
angels
know.
and demons, essentially, but non-corporeal beings who exist outside of linear time, residing in or and also banished from the celestial temple. They are considered the gods of the Bajoran people. They are capable of altering events across timelines, possession, and reality manipulation. The Palwraiths are an exile faction seeking to destroy their counterparts and remake existence. And they chose Benjamin Sisko as their emissary. That's why, because Benjamin Sisko, I wanted to wrap him into that because he is half prophet.
Yes.
Like he mixed.
He's a mixed baby.
Yeah. and so so he counts as a prophet Palwraith. Um, and so let's see. Let's just take a look. Yeah, that's a I
I'm gonna
the
say
paw wraiths are a threat to. Oh wait. Let's start. So I think completely transcendent.
yes.
Power and scale. Um, yeah. I think that's a 5. Vulnerability. They can be killed.
Yes.
Um, like that's but like it's really hard. So maybe a
Fifty
4, maybe
I put a 4.
yeah, yeah, that's fair. And then threat to mortals, yeah, absolutely, they can
That's
remake
fine.
existence. Um, that's what the Paul Wraith's goal is to remake existence. Uh, so okay, now next we have Kevin Uxbridge, who is a dude. Now I one thing that I love about this is that his name is Kevin, and we're like, let's judge Kevin on this list. But he is a member of an immortal, non corporeal species of immense power who took human form to live among people. In a single act of grief and rage, he annihilated the entire Husnok species, billions of beings instantaneously. Um, so he considered his own act monstrous and lives in a self imposed exile. So, um, I think he's like a fives.
I think it's 5s across the
Yeah,
board.
because they had to convince him. They had to convince him to please let them go because he could make them think reality. It wasn't so much that he change. Well, no, he did. He could change reality because he made a dead part of the planet be alive. Um, or maybe it was very confusing because it's like it wasn't real, but it was real. I think regardless, he I'm going to say Kevin personally is not a threat to mortals anymore. But that doesn't mean that they can't.
Right. The
Um
same as Angie, like
yeah. Yeah. Like we're lucky that they're benevolent, but if they were not, that would be very frightening. Okay, now number 10 on this
we're
list.
getting
I'm sorry, did we do everything on
we did.
on
That was a 20 score on Kevin.
All right, so number 10, the Ages slash the Travelers. They are a multi tiered organization of beings operating across space and time, guiding the development of civilizations. The Ages supervise. The Travelers are their operatives, capable of moving through space, time, and thought simultaneously. Placed agents like Gary Seven on developing worlds, mentored Wesley Crusher into transcending human existence. So he is one of them. Again, so I didn't include Wesley separately because he is part of the Ages slash Travelers. Um, Also,
So
wow, that was so much research to try to find out that they were in fact the same because I was like trying to figure out where that was and I found it. But
that's like wow, because like Beverly's his mom. He's got a human. He's like he and Cisco are very much
yeah,
same in that.
because he a little mixed. I mean, well, technically he has a human dad too, but
Yeah.
he was like juiced up, I guess. Or he was already born with the potential to be who he became, I think is how
comes from
how
his
it
mama's side.
works.
I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say that
I
as
think it
like what
does. I think it does too.
his name's
So
immortal a lot of times. So
so transcendence. I think that this is a pretty high transcendence.
yeah,
Like they exist at the beginning and all throughout. Power and scale. Again, I think that's a 5. That's
five.
everything. All reality. Vulnerability. They can be killed.
I would say four,
Like
right?
their operatives can be killed.
Yeah,
But them as yeah, I'd say like so because like I'm like because you can literally just shoot them with a gun or give them a disease.
right.
Um, by the way, that happened in because and I'm gonna spoil this for you because you don't care that happened in Picard.
No, I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care about spoilers for that, but in Picard there is a like Gary Seven type of agent, um, and she was given some like I'm gonna die quick poison, and she just died. So to me, I'm like, oh, you could just kill them then, but also those are just the agents that work for them. So I'm like, is it 3 or 4? That's where I'm bouncing back from.
Put it as a four
Okay.
because they themselves cannot. But if it's just an agent, then it's a
Mm-hmm.
four.
Threat
Kind of
to
average out.
and threat to mortals, absolutely 5. They have their hand in everything, every bit of time that has ever existed, and will exist. Okay, next the let's see if I can pronounce this right. Uh, Nigilum. This is an entity encountered in a void in space. Incomprehensible to humanoid understanding. It killed crew members to study the concept of death. It was capable of trapping the Enterprise indefinitely and creating perfect replicas of crew members. Ultimately, released them apparently out of boredom or curiosity. I think that's a bunch of 5s.
The fives across the
That's a
board.
5s across the board because it got bored, which is just
Got
horrifying.
bored.
It's horrifying.
Killed you, and then I kind of replicated you. It's you, but it's not you.
Oh my
Uh,
god. I just kept killing it like so many times, and then I was like, well, what's next? Next, the Gorgon. A non corporeal being preserved in a cave on, what's it, Trachis? Possibly the last survivor of a race of ancient marauders. It manipulated children using fear and mind control, granting them the ability to induce hallucinations in adults. His power was entirely dependent on the loyalty of his followers. When that broke, so did he. And that is from the original series episode, And the Children Shall Lead. Um, so I'd say pretty transcendent. Definitely transcendent. Um,
yeah,
Power and scale, huge amount of power.
it's a five.
Yeah. Uh, yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I'd say so. But for vulnerability, that's I'd say it is
three or four.
I'd say 3. I'd say 3. Because all you have to do is just like not pay attention or like ignore him and he loses his power. Um but that's like pretty much it. That's like the only vulnerability, which is And threat to mortals, that's I think a
Would
5.
give it the same score as Armus?
Are we?
Because for vulnerability, that ability to be like,
Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
or
So a
so it's
4. Yeah. I'm gonna cuz yeah, it's like if he's right there and can get you, it's bad. So
right.
don't be around them at all.
Yeah.
And threat to mortals I think is like it's pretty it's pretty significant because it can like it induces hallucinations in adults and and manipulates kids and like it messes with your mind and stuff. So I'd say that's probably like a 5.
Life
Um,
material.
and now this is the beta 12A entity. This is from the Star Trek the original series episode um, Day of the Dove. So it is a non uh, a non corporeal life form that fed on hatred and violence. It trapped the Enterprise crew and a Klingon crew together, amplifying their aggression and healing their wounds to keep the conflict going indefinitely. Could only be defeated by denying it negative emotion. I'd say it's pretty close to like the Gorgon as far as um like only it only has one pretty like it only has like one fairly significant weakness, but is otherwise able to like it can make you like fight to the death forever, which
So
is
we'll do 5 on transcendence.
yeah. Power and scale, that's pretty powerful. They
That's
have
pretty powerful.
yep. Vulnerability. I think same with a 4. That's a 4 because
Four.
it's just that one kind of little one really. And threat to mortal, absolutely. If they catch you, you're done. And they because they can yeah, you're just in trouble. Unless you can be like super fucking chill. Like if you can chill out, actually I think I'd be okay. I'd be okay. I think I could chill out. Um, but yeah, that's pretty significant. Now, the last. Oh wait, did we get all of them? No.
Yes. No,
Yes.
Apollo is the last one.
And Apollo is the last one. Slash, I guess all of the ancient gods, but we only met the one because it he decided to be the only one that hung around. So members of an advanced species who visited Earth in antiquity and were worshipped as the Greek gods, capable of energy projection, size alteration, and matter manipulation via an organ unique to their species. Um, Apollo was the last survivor, having waited on Pollux 4 for humanity to return. And he's from the original series episode, Who Mourns for Adonis? And I mean, Transcendence, like he is a god. I mean,
Five.
he's not a god as really is the thing. I'm like, he's not really a god. He's just like a really, really like an immortal, overpowered guy. But isn't that like that's where I feel some. So okay, let's go. Let's do the criteria. Transcendence
5.
5, absolutely. Power and scale 5.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. Vulnerability. A woman.
That's been a 4.
Yeah. My one weakness. A woman.
Yeah.
um, I mean, that is literally what happened. Is that she was like, "I'm dumping you," and it really hurt his feelings. I mean, like, I get that. I feel empathy. Heartbreak is real. So 4. Threat to mortals. Yeah, he's a god. I mean, like, with his powers, energy projection, size alteration, matter manipulation, like, all of those are like a level 5 threat to mortals. Um, I guess the Greek gods make it.
Greek gods do it. Look at you.
All right, y'all, we did it. So,
But you don't have a real bottom 4. You
yeah,
have a
it's really
bottom.
funny too. And I'm actually willing to just be like, all right, 2, because I feel like these two, they just didn't make the cut. They didn't make the cut.
You
So,
can't argue the data and how we rank them. I think we were very
mm,
scientific, and so
yeah.
just a fact.
So for the Trek rank, when we do the Trek rank, we are leaving out Armus and the Denner Gary Mitchell. Elizabeth and Gary are out, and Armus is out. Um, and I do want to just think about like the full power, the 20s on this list of, let's see, Badgie, um the Organians, the Metrons, Kevin, the Nijilugugum. These are all like, and like, no one, and that's because they weren't beaten. These are
Right.
all these are all characters that like, all of these people were not beaten at all. They just
And there
got
was no
through it.
real solution. It was just like either the
Hmm.
person was, God was bored, or just like, yeah, I'm done with you. You can go on and
Yeah,
about your business.
like, you could beg him to stop. That's what you could do. Like, that's for those ones. Like, especially like with like the Metrons and the Organians, they're awful in the way that they, like, their morality is not the same as ours.
Non-existent. It's like
It's,
almost like sociopaths or psychopaths is what
yeah, well,
they
they
seem.
don't think of corporeal creatures as even people. They're not,
Right.
like, they're not like people. And that's why they're like, ooh, let's study them. Let's study, like, can they figure out this war with these two species, or let's figure out like how they, yeah, like, or with Gorgon, let's figure out how they, or not Gorgon, Nagalum, let's figure out how they die. And I'm just gonna
Right.
do that over and over again in a bunch of different ways, for fun. No, 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 not
Funsies.
even, well, like, here's the thing, for fun, because um like us, we're like nerding out, and we're having a really good time judging all of this. And it was like that with him. He's like, let me just, like, this is so exciting. I get to do this. And then he gets bored. And then he's like, bye. And there's no real resolution to that other than, let's hope he doesn't get nostalgic. I mean, we've all
Right.
gotten a little nostalgic from old projects and things that we'd like just put down. Like, if one day he was like, "Man, I remember that ship," and like, I was killing all those people. Man, that was fun. I should go see what they're up to. I should go kill some of them.
Back to that. I think like there's more questions I had, you know, maybe if I kill them in this way, it'll be
Yeah, like it's like you know, like he's sleeping or whatever he does to rest, and then he's like, you know how sometimes it's just a thought pops in your head, you're like, oh my god, did I try that though?
maybe I should. I don't
Like that's a really good idea. That's a great idea. I'm gonna do that.
I would love to be that type of like character coming back on Star Trek, like just the person in the wheelchair messing up with things and they're
mm-hmm.
trying to figure it out and they never will see me coming until like the very end and they're like, ah. I was like, hey, remember me? I'm back.
I'm back. Armis, here's something very interesting again. I didn't think that Armis was going to be taken off the list.
Really?
I didn't. I
I had a
I
feeling
am
that
I am
was
a little surprised by that, but also fully in agreement. Like I fully agree with like that's the score. And that's like it was honest and we could not I don't think we could have judged it any other way. But
yeah.
I'm excited now
This
for
is why
for the actual Trek rank. Now, when we do the Trek rank, that's going to be a completely different set of criteria. This
yeah,
criteria was just for us to figure out what fits into this topic fully because if you look at the number of powerful godlike beings, by the way, let's just do thought experiment. Let's do Kess. Um.
that's a great thought experiment because I wanted to hear why
Mm-hmm.
you excluded her, but I have a feeling as to why that would be. Um, but let's do the thought experiment of Cass
So transcendence. How far beyond mortal existence? So, um,
because it's
uh,
a five because and she's
well, in the end, she's a old lady who goes back to Okampa. Like that's what happened to her at the end. Is it like but she does like become all energy. So yes, I'm like
like she doesn't.
I'm I think it's like a 4. But
Yeah,
like yeah. Um or no. I'm going to say it's complicated cuz I'm like I kind of feel like it's a 3 cuz it is clearly beyond what normal beings can do.
but she does reach that pure energy state.
Mhm. So,
I think the before they get to the pure energy state, because we did that for Armis
mhm.
and Jerry
So
Mitchell.
yep.
It's
So
a step
4.
above.
Yes. So definitely 4 because it approaches true godhood. That doesn't mean is. So,
Right.
uh, power and scale. Um, I mean, remember the episode where she came back to the ship and crashed into the ship and was like exploding everything as she was walking down
Yeah,
the things. So yeah,
pretty powerful.
pretty powerful. Vulnerability. Can she be stopped, harmed, or killed? Yes.
Yes.
Um, I'm gonna say
It's a 4 because she can't in her energy state, but when she's in her
like
humanoid,
when she's humanoid, a she's pretty much a person.
yeah,
So that's what I would be like. I mean, she's
4.
2 forms, so I'm like honestly, it's like a 3.5. But like, so I'd say 4, because
Yeah.
because I'm gonna always go up. I guess we're always gonna round up. So and then threat to mortals. Um, she could travel through time.
She was pretty threatening when she was destroying the ship,
Yeah, she could
and
travel
could
through
have
time
hurt.
and blow up things with her mind. She also pushed the ship 10 light years. I did forget about that for a second. Um, I've been playing the Star Trek Voyager video game, and so you end up playing through a lot of the missions. And I did just finish the mission called The Gift. So
So wait, we gave her a 4 for transcendence, right?
yeah,
Power and scale
I
was a
think she's
5.
she's like a 19.
Like, no, she's 18 because we
Oh, an
said she
18.
is
She is vulnerable. So she's 18.
and then it was 5 for threat. So that is 18. She's up there,
Wow.
but excluded.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Now I'm like, I mean, like,
Yeah, that's what
I
I was. I
went
was like,
back
she
and forth because I
is.
was like, but like,
Because I think we only, the majority of the time that we do see her, she's a baby. She's technically a child, right?
she's a
Because,
caterpillar.
yeah, so
Um,
it's just kind
larva. That's what she is. She's a This Ocampans, the when they live that one, or they live like to like 3 or 4 years old,
yeah.
and that's like their nascent larval stage. Then, if they strengthen their time ability powers, like if they don't do anything, they just die. But if they strengthen their psychic powers enough, then they can completely transcend mortal existence. So, and when Kess goes back to Okampa, that's pretty much what she's gonna go do, is turn all the Okampans into gods.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, but they will turn into people, and they can still turn into people. They could probably fix their planet. It's
Yeah.
actually kind of funny because when you think about it, that alien guy, who I did not include on the list because he was just like an alien, he was just like an overpowered alien guy. Like he had a high technology. But the guy who damaged the Ocampan planet, he actually stunted their development for, what was it, hundreds or thousands of years. um
Long, long.
long time. Completely like stunted their evolutionary growth, because if they had been allowed to like do all of that stuff with their powers, then um they I think that they would have all transcended, like probably hundreds of years, and then they would have been along the line. So there's this comic book where um all of the super powerful, it's an I gosh dang it's the new Star Trek line of comics that but it's all of the super powered godlike people. So Trelane, Q, the Organians, the Metrons, they have like a contest on who's the best, or like whose team is the best, and then they have a little contest, and then whoever wins the contest is like the best for a little while, and the Q have always won because they're the Q. They're the best of the gods, I guess. Um, so
I think they're more creative than the, like they are crazy in their own way that makes them think outside of the box. in ways that these other entities don't have that line of thinking.
Mm. Oh man. Well, now I feel like instead of, yeah, now I feel like, so we took two off and we added one. And I think that we just have to be okay with that.
I think we have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Because one, I'm happy because I was like, Cass is gonna be on there, and Cisco is on there.
And you convinced me. Well, see, and I included Wesley Crusher and I included Cisco, and
What?
they're both mixed, and Kess is full blooded.
He's
So
our baby.
that's not fair. So that was not fair of me, and
Janeway's child should be on there.
that's Kathy's baby.
Cass's baby.
Oh, so we did it. So we're gonna have to figure out when to meet for the actual rank. But I think with this number, I think it's gonna be like a 3-part trek
Gonna be
rank.
a three-part one trick.
It's gonna have to be because like it's just
We have lots to talk about with the ranks here. Also, I will say to the audience, those pile rays are why there's a 4 there. Okay, that's not the Cisco's fault.
no,
It's those
no.
doggone pile rays.
Uh-huh. Um if it wasn't for them,
It wasn't for them.
like
I win.
absolutely. Um well, like, and it's funny, and it is interesting how there are there are more encounters than I realized that end with technically the the our side, the Federation, loses or is just they lose and are let go.
And they're like, I
Like,
remember all of the episodes and just the feeling of frustration. Even at the end, you're like, what? And even then, Star Trek is giving us a lesson that some ish you just got to get through. There is no resolution, meaning, or anything like you just got to get through it. And I think that's a very powerful lesson that I kind of grasped as a kid. It's like,
mm-hmm.
ah,
Like that species who is not included because they're not godlike. They're people. They just live. They're just like they can just make themselves invisible. The ones that were doing the medical experiments on the Voyager crew, they were
right.
just assholes.
They
Like,
were just jerks.
yeah, they were like people because they ran away when she was like, "I'm gonna blow up the ship."
Really, she's like, oh, kill us all. Stop it.
She's like, "Oh, oh, okay, cool, 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 cool. Everyone's gonna die." No, no,
We're all
I haven't slept. I have this headache. I've had this headache for days, and I didn't sleep, and I don't even care right now. And like, I really have always really um, like felt that. It's really beautiful. I
like,
think it's
Janeway
very
is
true.
just like the best at doing that. Like the bad guy is like, we're gonna destroy you. Not if I destroy us first.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, no, we're
Technically, we're already dead at home, so bye.
like, yeah, like no one even knows we're alive. There's
And
no.
then Tuvok always just be sitting there going like,
He's like, you are my most dramatic friend. And
he's like,
I think Catherine Janeway is Tuvok's most dramatic friend. And people would not think that. They'd be like, oh, like Harry's a big crybaby, and that's probably like most
Janeway is
emotional.
always
No,
threatening to kill
she is a
everybody.
volatile, and like he is always just trying to get her to calm down. Like, you gotta stop drinking coffee. It is not good for you. Like, it is making you like want to blow up like an entire planet. Let's not
You
do
right,
that.
your hydration. Did you go for a walk?
Drink some water. Touch grass. Come on. Hey, you want to go? Let's meditate. Do you want to meditate? Come on. Hey, you know what? Why don't you go see your holographic boyfriend? Remember when you erased his wife from existence? You haven't seen him for a while, so you should go visit him. I mean, like, that's
Good.
and like that's a little crazy. Who would
Even just to erase her from existence shows how
delete the wife?
leader.
Kathy, just copy paste. Copy
No.
paste. Delete the wife. No, copy paste the man and give him a twin brother. It's a program. She's like, nah, it has to be him. Specifically
Gotta go.
him. Like, I need it to be this guy because he was kind of nice to me and he's my type. He's like, you can make another one. She's like, no, not this one. Um,
No, it won't be the same. I feel her, and in all of these moments, like she's correct. She's absolutely correct.
like, I, as much as I am saying, like, copy paste, make another, mostly what I'm kind of what I think she should do is copy paste, give the copy to the wife, take the original.
That is smart. But when you are like deep into it, like you are with Sims, you're like delete.
Oh, and I
Um,
and I have done that. Um, lots of times been like, ugh, I need to get rid of this wife because this. I want this guy, and I look and I'm like, oh, he's married. I don't like that. Let's just go into this and like do all these things. That's what cheats are for. And that's what these godlike beings are doing to us. We are the Sims, and they work with cheats, like
it's true.
heavy cheat codes. Um,
True.
and so technically, I guess I can't be that mad at them about it because, like, I would do the same thing. We
As a scientist
we
who
know
had to
that.
work with wasps and was doing all sorts of weird experiments, I am very much like the godlike beings.
I'm like,
So,
oh, like if I was, because most of these they have different moralities.
right.
That's what makes them good and evil. Except for Armus, who is just evil. But for the most part, they exist outside of like normal morality. So a lot of their actions, although harmful to mortal humans or mortal people, um, they don't like it doesn't even occur to them. Like Kevin is like one of those like hippie guys that cries when you kill a spider. But it's us, right? I think that's what Kevin is. Except also he married a spider. But but he seems like that like, that like hippie guy who's just like, "No, guys, we got to do." And I think that in many ways like I'm excited to talk about what how we're going to, next time see what's going on with our calendars. Next Thursday is the 30th. Now I'm like, should we meet and talk about what the criteria is on even judging these for a rank before the rank? Because I kind of have been enjoying, most of the time I do all of this work by myself. Um,
Yeah.
and I actually have
This,
been enjoying like getting it all organized and stuff. Also, this was really fun making these documents. Because I'm the kind of nerd that loves a well organized doc. So I'm like, let's meet next week so we can figure out what the criteria that we are judging these It looks like 13 um, powerful beings. 13. Um, 13 gods. Actually, I kind of like the number 13 for this. I don't know why. It just sounds nice. So, are you got plans next week? Let's do
Just the
this.
doctor's
Yeah, let's do this next week. We'll talk about it.
appointment.
We'll talk about it nice and relaxed.
Do
And
you want to create and then do the live stream?
do I want to what?
Do we want to go over things first during Crypt Crate?
Yeah, let's do that. We could talk that over and then we'll live stream on the 30th.
Yeah.
Awesome. Isn't that great? Co-working, despite the
We
fact
make
that
it
we live on the opposite sides of the country from each other and still meet and like it is late right now. It is nighttime. Now it is not it is evening here. Um and on the west coast, but it is fully nighttime. And I
You
appreciate
saw the sun go down as we
like
were
I
talking.
yeah, I did. I'm like it is dark now.
I'm staying up because I'm trying to see the Lyrids tonight. So, um, everyone, if it's clear, there's a meteor shower that happens during this time of year. It lasts until I think the end of the week. So, um,
Oh
if you like
yeah. Awesome.
do, I'm not wearing these for nothing. These are my favorite things. So
I
I
like
love
them.
star showers and all that. My favorite.
All right, everyone. Well, that's the stream. I'm going to go slap this thing on, and now I'm just going to say, hey, Trek Talk is a Calling of Justice production. Special thanks to our host, Maiamama, and our guest, Lutetia Andre Doucette. For more information, check out the links in the show notes on YouTube. Special thanks to executive producer Claudia Alick. For more information on Claudia and Calling Up Justice, check out the links in the YouTube show notes. That's all. Okay.